Tonight on CTV News at 5, one person is dead and another injured after two vehicles drove off the flyover at Highways 7 and 8. Plus, Waterloo Region digs out again, from shoveling to school closures. How much snow has fallen and how does it compare to winters past? And face-to-face with freezing temperatures, the warnings from health officials and what to watch out for if you're out in the bitter cold. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. First at 5, a woman from Waterloo is dead after her vehicle went over the walls of the flyover between Highways 7 and 8 this morning. Let's bring in CTV's Colton Weens for more on this. Colton, there were actually two vehicles that went over the walls of the flyover today.
Yeah, that's right, Alexandra. Ontario Provincial Police say around 2 this morning, a taxi went over the flyover and crashed onto the highway. That driver had minor injuries, but around 7:30, a second vehicle went over the wall where a 38-year-old Waterloo woman was pronounced dead at the scene, and the road has been closed ever since. OPP say the snow that fell overnight had been pushed to the side by plows, but the buildup of snow along the walls of the flyover create an embankment until crews can get back on the road and clear it. Police saying both the taxi and the vehicle in the fatal crash appeared to have launched off the embankments. Highway 8 was reopened this afternoon, but the flyover remains closed and will stay closed until the snow can be cleared, possibly into this evening.
But in these overpass areas, the snow cannot be just thrown over the walls to the highway below. They push it up against the shoulders. Unfortunately, that also makes an embankment, and so the first vehicle that happened overnight launched over the embankment, ended up on the ground below. The driver was okay. Unfortunately, later this morning at 7:30, another car lost control, went over the embankment.
Sergeant Schmidt says it's too early to know what exactly led to the vehicles going over the wall, and will be looking to determine if the driver or vehicle had issues. Schmidt says while they are still investigating, it's another reminder that the roads are still dangerous following a snowfall, and to be patient and drive to the conditions. Alexandra.
All right, Colton, thanks for this. Turning to other news now, a quiet Kitchener neighborhood has been left shaken after a man was found dead inside a home on Garden Path Place on Friday. It's now being investigated as a homicide, the first in Waterloo Region this year. CTV's Hannah Schmidt has the latest.
A Kitchener cul-de-sac was the scene of a homicide investigation Friday afternoon.
This is a quiet neighborhood, and what we see is everybody's friendly, and this is shocking for us.
At approximately 4:30 p.m., police responded to a report of a stabbing in the area of Garden Path Place in Kitchener. Upon arrival, officers located an adult male deceased in a residence.
The incident marking the region's first homicide of 2026.
It's unbelievable what we heard, and is what is going on in this area, what we are thinking. Are we safe or not?
Investigators say they believe the stabbing was targeted.
After locating the deceased male in the residence, officers continued the investigation and subsequently identified and located a suspect in the area of Ardell Avenue in Kitchener. We believe that they were known to each other.
A 26-year-old Kitchener man was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Investigators have not released his identity at this time.
Based on the totality of the investigation at this point, a charge of second-degree murder was deemed appropriate. No ongoing threat to public safety, as this was an incident that was isolated in nature.
Neighbors tell CTV News they noticed more people coming and going from the property prior to the man's death. One said there was a rental unit, though police have not confirmed that detail.
I believe his basement is rented out because I see it, the couple guys, they're coming out from there. We don't know exactly how many people live on that house.
Surveillance video from a nearby home was also shared with CTV News, showing a person running on the sidewalk shortly before 4 p.m., about half an hour before officers arrived on Garden Path. Police say they cannot confirm whether investigators are aware of the footage or whether it is connected to their case. Residents remain shaken by what happened, but relieved there is no threat to the public.
It could be happen anywhere, anything. So I believe this is still good neighborhood. So what I say, we are still in good shape.
Police say the investigation remains ongoing and have not released the identity of the victim. Hannah Schmidt, CTV News, Kitchener.
Next, to a winter wallop roundup. Many people still out shoveling snow this evening following yesterday's storm. Around 20 centimeters of snow was expected to fall, but Waterloo Region was only hit with about half of that. Out of an abundance of caution, many local school boards announced closures Sunday evening. So far this winter, Waterloo Region has seen more than 200 centimeters of snowfall, which weather experts say is a significant amount.
For this time of year, our average would only be around 90 centimeters. And for the entire snow season, which goes, of course, into the spring, we'd expect our average is around 160 centimeters. So we've already blown past the 160, of course, with 200. So you might say the next milestone. Back in the winter of 2007 and 2008, we had about 260 centimeters. So that was the highest snowfall on record in the area.
Coming up at 6, CTV's Karis Mapp will have more on the aftermath and cleanup efforts currently underway. CTV's Ashley Bacon joins me now for our first look at our forecast. Ash, the snow may have stopped for now, but those freezing temperatures, they are not going anywhere anytime soon.
That's right, Alex. And as we just heard, back in 2007 and 8, I was here that winter graduating from Laurier, and I can attest it was a rough winter. So by comparison, snow-wise, you know, we're sort of right on par with that. But as you just said, it's getting really cold. Let's take a look. We've got some boards to tell you tonight. We've got another extreme cold warning out, and you're going to look at wind chill values between -25 and -30 as overnight conditions get worse. Wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers an hour. So that's going to continue to, unfortunately, plague the region for another few days. Right now in Waterloo Region, we're sitting at -11. West by southwest winds at just 13 kilometers an hour, so not too windy out there, but already feeling closer to -17, Alex. So it is feeling really cold out there still. Let's take a look at Deer Ridge in Kitchener this evening at what we're looking at for this cold weather. As the sun begins to set and those cold temperatures start to come down, you know, we can expect to feel a little bit chilly for the next few days, but I'll have more details on that coming up.
And we'll check in with you again later, Ash. Thanks for this. And here's what you need to know as we head into our first break. The KW Titans are back on home court this Sunday against the Lake Erie Jackals. It's also a Black History Month celebration. Tip-off is at 3 p.m. Tickets can be found online. Stay with us. We'll have more news after the break.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news.
With all the winter weather we've been getting here in southern Ontario, the snow isn't the only thing many of us have to worry about. It's also the bitter cold. Whether you're out shoveling your driveway, walking the dog, or looking for warm shelter, there are a number of signs and symptoms to be aware of. Dr. Nicola Mercer, the Medical Officer of Health for Wellington Dufferin Guelph Public Health, is here to break it all down for us. Dr. Mercer, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's start with some of the risks or dangers of being out in extreme cold temperatures and just snow safety in general here.
So I think I'd like to break it down what the risks are, whether you're prepared or not prepared. So if you are an outdoor worker, you're probably more prepared. You know what you're going into. You dress in layers, and many of them also have sort of those built-in little battery-operated heating vests, the things to keep them warm. If you're sending your children outside to play or sending them off to school, it's really important to dress them in layers to make sure that they are covering those parts of the body which are much more likely to freeze, and for people to not realize it. So sometimes it's the tips of your nose, your fingers if they take their gloves off, their toes, and especially if they get wet. So as part of their snow, if they step in something or become wet, then that increases the danger of frostbite and those parts of the body freezing. So it's really important that you are prepared in this type of weather. And that means also that if you're out driving, you're thinking, okay, I'm just going to work, I'm going from my garage to a parking garage, it doesn't mean that along the way that you may have a reason to be outside. Either your car gets stuck or stalls or even a minor accident. So always be prepared, even in your car, to have extra layers of clothes. Make sure you have gloves, a hat, extra windshield washer fluid just in case your car runs out of that. Some people carry a small shovel as well in case you need to dig yourself out. There are many things that can help in our Canadian climate to keep you safe and help you to get from point A to point B.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the signs or symptoms of frostbite or hypothermia, what should people look out for?
Yeah, they can be subtle, especially in people who can't tell you that they're experiencing frostbite. So young children or children in general, seniors, those who are potentially aren't communicative to you. So the things that I would worry about is the area that is affected will look very white. It will feel cold to the touch. It may even feel hard to the touch. Also, you have to take the clinical context. So meaning that has this person been outside for a long time? Have they been someplace where they can get frostbite? I really just have a low degree of suspicion. So if you think your child or somebody you know, yourself, your limbs are getting very cold, make sure you get out of the wind and get out of the cold. And if you have any concerns at all that you or somebody you love has experienced or has frostbite, then you should seek medical attention, because there are different levels of how severe it can be. Some of it is minor and some of it can be very significant and can cause a loss of the tissue if it's very severe. And so there are things that medically we can do to improve the outcome. So really important that you seek help.
Got it. And how long can it take for something like frostbite or hypothermia to kick in?
That's a great question, and it really depends on the temperature that we're dealing with as well as the wind. So it can happen very, very quickly in extreme cold conditions. So if you're down to past minus or lower than minus 35, that's extreme cold, and it can take just a few minutes for exposed flesh to freeze. So that's the time when you shouldn't have any exposed flesh. So you should be ensuring that if your child is ever out walking or playing in very extreme cold, that every part of their skin, including their face, is covered so that they do not get frostbite. But it can happen very quickly.
Right. And aside from layering up, what do you think is the best and safest way to warm someone up?
Well, it depends on your situation. So if you're in a hospital, in a medical situation, we actually have warmers, blankets, ways to warm people slowly over time, actual things that are a little bit like a hairdryer in a blanket to actually warm people. So medical situations are different than if you're in your home. So if you're someplace remote, maybe you're in a cottage or someplace where you don't have access to medical care right away, and you're trying to get there, in the interim, the most important thing is to remove anything that's wet, because cold and wet go together. So remove anything that's wet. Make sure the individual is dry. Put as many warm layers on as you can. And also, if you're by yourself, if this is something that you are by yourself, you can't get help, again, remove what is wet. Try and put new layers on, and then tuck those parts of the body that are very cold. You can do so by putting them in your armpits, putting them in your groin. You can put your hands in places where your own body can provide that warmth. And you can do that for, if you have a child, you can actually use human heat to also warm a part of the body that is frozen. So the ideal situation is actually to do this medically and to go to a place where you can be treated. But if that's not available to you, those are some other strategies to slowly warm the body area.
All right, lots of helpful tips there, Dr. Mercer. Thank you so much for this. Stay warm and stay safe.
Bye-bye.
And here's what you need to know. Head over to the Odd tomorrow night for a midweek matchup between the Kitchener Rangers and the Sarnia Sting. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. You can find tickets online. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break. CTV's Ashley Bacon is back with our full weather forecast. And Ashley, we were just talking about berry season and the warmth and summer. And honestly, I can't wait for that, because with that minus in front of those minus 20s, it's not what I like to see.
Well, I don't know if this is good news or bad news. I guess it depends on who's listening. But about 53 days left till spring. Not counting down or anything. For now, though, Alex, it is going to be a cold one out there. Let's take a look back outside in Kitchener tonight. Dave Pettit, our camera operator, bringing us this beautiful sunset shot just from Deer Ridge, which is just close by to our studios here. And it's hard to see cold in a shot, but I mean, this gives a pretty good representation, I think, of it, because it is not too windy out there right now. It's just cold. Now, we're going to have a bit of a flurry situation over the next few days, but overall precipitation accumulation has stopped for the moment, which is good news. However, the cold is going to continue, and it's caused Environment Canada to issue another extreme cold warning for tonight. So we are looking at wind chill values between minus 25 and 30 through overnight, accompanied by 50-kilometer-an-hour winds. Now, frostbite, of course, can develop when it is that cold quickly. So if you have to head out, make sure you cover any exposed skin and dress appropriately. Now, there is some flurry activity to talk about. We are going to see a little bit over the next few days, specifically still up in southern Georgian Bay near Wyerton, north of Mount Forest. You're going to see a slightly heavier band of precipitation continue to plague that area. But here in Kitchener-Waterloo, we're going to see a bit of sun over the next few days. They will have a bit of flurry continuing to push through the region, but not heavy snowfalls like we've had over the last week or so. What we're looking at across the country for temperature-wise, so really does vary. Over in Vancouver and Victoria, 4 and 5 degrees, but just over the mountain range there, we're looking at closer to minus 18 conditions in Saskatoon, minus 18 as well in Thompson. Iqaluit only minus 10. We're colder here in Kitchener-Waterloo at the moment. Montreal sitting at minus 12, same with Ottawa. And in St. John's, minus 11. So a wide variety of I was going to say prices, but of temperatures across the country, including here in Kitchener-Waterloo. We're sitting at minus 11, but with that wind chill feeling closer to minus 17. So as I keep saying, it's going to be a chilly one. Overnight, we're expecting a low of minus 18, feeling closer to minus 28 with around a 60% chance for flurries throughout the region. Tomorrow, minus 10 with another round of flurries, but again, not a lot of accumulation. We're only looking at around 3 centimeters between now and Wednesday morning. Okay, your first at 5 forecast for Waterloo Region. Those flurries continuing for Wednesday, a high of just minus 12. But I want to point out Thursday overnight, conditions deteriorating yet again. We're expecting a low front there. Minus 23 is the expected overnight low. Of course, feeling much cooler than that with the wind chill. The good news is that sun is set to make an appearance by Friday as well, with a high of just minus 11, Alex. So cold conditions for the next few days, but the good news is not too much snow is expected.
Well, I'll definitely be sure to bundle up. Ash, thanks for this. Time now to take a look at what's trending. The 2 stars of the Crave hit series Heated Rivalry traded in their skates for torches. Hudson Williams and Connor Story participated in the Olympic torch relay in Italy yesterday. The two play fictional professional hockey stars who have a secret relationship. The Milano Cortina Winter Olympic Games begin on February 6th. And as we head to break, here's what you need to know. If you're looking for something fun to do last minute tonight, head over to Kelsey's in Cambridge for Trivia Night. The game starts at 7. Reservations are strongly recommended. In tonight's Digital Dive, the holy grail of hockey cards hit a home run on the auction block. The century-old collection went for nearly $88,000 after the buyer's premium Sunday night. To find out more, our online team has you covered. Just scan the QR code in the corner of your screen or go to ctvnewskitchener.ca. Time now to take a look at our final 5 stories we're following today. At least 2 people have been displaced after a fire broke out at a building in downtown Kitchener early Sunday morning. Thick smoke billowed into the air as firefighters battled a blaze at Queen Street South and Charles Street East around 4 a.m. The The fire is believed to have started in a second-story apartment. 2 tenants were displaced and crews were trying to locate 2 others. No one was hurt and no damage estimate has been released at this time. The Ontario Fire Marshal is investigating. Prime Minister Mark Carney is providing Canadians with a boost to the GST credit as part of the Canadian government's new affordability measures. Carney says under the existing GST credit, a family of 4 receives about $1,100. But with today's announcement, that same family will now receive nearly $1,900 this year and about $1,400 for each of the next 4 years. Marineland has received a conditional approval to send its remaining beluga whales to the United States. The update came from Federal Fisheries Minister Joanne Thompson today. The move comes after Marineland presented what it called an urgent rescue solution to the federal government last week to keep the 30 belugas alive. Thompson says she will issue final permits once the Niagara Falls theme park provides further information. A former Canadian Olympic snowboarder accused in a drug smuggling ring made his first court appearance in the U.S. today. This last hour, Ryan Wedding pleaded not guilty to murder and drug trafficking charges. Wedding turned himself in at the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City last week after a year-long effort by authorities to arrest him. The former FBI fugitive is accused of running a billion-dollar multinational drug trafficking ring and orchestrating multiple killings. Finally for us, the Stratford Festival has started rehearsals for the 2026 season, and this year they are trying something new. 2 plays in the same theatre sharing a cast and crew. Both Guys and Dolls and Something Rotten will be at the festival theatre stage. The cast for both shows are the same, while the costume and set is very different. The play's director says it's a bold and creative plan.
We're doing a unique and one-of-a-kind experience, probably in the world. So you will see an actor do one role, and that's a Renaissance show. That's in Shakespeare times, to Guys and Dolls, which is 1949 New York City.
Guys and Dolls hits the stage at the end of April, while Something Rotten debuts in early May. CTV's Jeff Pickle will have more on this tonight at 6. And I know I'm looking forward to the start of theatre season. I'll be marking my calendar for some of those shows, that's for sure. Well, that's our time. Thanks for watching. We will have more local news coverage at 6 o'clock with Krista Simpson, and Tony Grace will be here at 11:30. But first, here's CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo.